Konnichiwa, watashi wa Abu desu. Hey guys, it's the Kawaii Twin. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys 5 tips on how to make your room kawaii on a budget. So let's go ahead and get straight into the video. The first thing I'm going to be focusing on is how to make the walls look kawaii. So something that I've really been interested in are putting posters on the wall to make the room very cutesy, very kawaii. This is sort of an idea that I had. This is my Pinterest board, and these are some pictures that I saved that I wanted to use as inspiration for my own personal room. That you guys can see my room is very decorated. I did paint the walls, but if you guys are in a budget and you guys don't know what to do, then you guys can add a bunch of kawaii posters. Now even though my room is painted pink, I did add a couple of posters on the wall, and I feel like it made them very kawaii. So you guys don't necessarily have to paint your room. If you don't have money to paint your room, then you can definitely use posters. So you can use an anime theme poster. I used a calendar. So this is an old calendar that I got from Michael's. This was overdue already. I think I purchased it at the beginning of this year in 2021, and it was a 2020 calendar, although I'm not too sure. I need to double check, but it was an old calendar. It wasn't, useful as a calendar anymore, so it was really cheap for me, so I purchased that. So if you guys are really on a budget and you can't spend too much money, then maybe you can get like something like that, maybe a calendar. And that calendar was really great because I had a bunch of different images, and they were quite big in size as well. I know that if you print your own images, that can be quite expensive. So if you guys are thinking of kind of redecorating your walls, then definitely go for something like that. A cute calendar that's going to be very useful if you guys want to put on your wall and have like a big statement. And I feel like they also work like posters, so I think it's really cute, and it's honestly a lot cheaper than if you get like an actual poster on Amazon. That might cost you like $30, maybe even more. So that's definitely an alternative. Now I did see another YouTuber's kawaii room tour, and she actually lives in Osaka in Japan. I don't know if she still lives there anymore, but I really love her videos. I'll be leaving a link to her video in the description box below, so you guys can go ahead and check her out. This is the name of her channel, and I saw her kawaii room tour, and what she did is she added a bunch of papers all over the wall to make the room very kawaii. So instead of painting, especially since in Japan you can't like paint the apartments, and they're very strict as to what you can do. You can't really hang things on the wall or things like that. I guess in her apartment there were like different rules. At least when I was living in Japan, I couldn't like hang anything on the wall. We couldn't paint anything. We couldn't do anything really to the wall. But anyway, I felt like this idea was really smart. What she did is she had 3 different types of papers. I think one was yellow, the other one was blue, and the other one was pink, and she just kind of laid them out onto the walls to make them look very kawaii. I felt like this was a really good and inexpensive idea. You can really get paper anywhere. You could probably even go to your local dollar store or maybe even Daiso, and you can get some really inexpensive papers. You can really go to any store honestly and get whatever paper that you want to use and put that on the wall. I did see another YouTuber as well. I think it's Kim Dial and like some other girl's account. I almost forgot, but what they did is I'm gonna see if I can find the video. I'll be leaving a link to their videos in the description box below, so you guys can check that out. I'm gonna see if I can find that video, but I remember what they did is they used some wallpaper they got from Daiso, and they put that on the walls. I forgot, this wasn't like wallpaper. This was I believe it was like wrapping paper. So they used it on the walls, and they made it look really kawaii. I know that paint can cost quite a bit of money, so you guys can definitely do that. Another idea is maybe making like an anime wall. For example, I know some people like to like print papers. Now I know printing can be a little bit expensive, but it might be a cheaper option. I'm not sure. I do know that on Amazon they are like these anime cards that you can use to make like an anime wall. This is a very popular anime wall and very popular thing you can do for your room to make it very kawaii, and you can really cover up a blank neutral space. So I feel like this is also really great alternatives. You can see it's a lot cheaper if printing the papers is better for you, or maybe you can get like a manga maybe, and that has a really nice pattern. Maybe it can be a manga that you're not really interested in, or maybe a manga that was on sale at the time, and so you can like tear those pages open and you can just kind of put them on your wall, so you can have a really pretty design, and you can make a really cute anime wall. So it really depends on what aesthetic you're interested in. I'm personally really interested in the kawaii and anime aesthetic, so I wanted to combine those two to create my room to make it very kawaii. So those are some tips that you guys can do to really focus on the walls and making them very kawaii. Now, the second tip is to look at the items that you already own and to see what you can do with them. For example, I have a lot of Kawaii sanrio themed stationery, including like notebooks, folders, pencils, as well as stickers that I have not used yet. And instead of just keeping them in my closet stored in there, I decided to instead use them as decor. So you guys don't necessarily have to, you know, buy a kawaii item to kind of display in your room. You guys can actually use items that you already own. So for example, if you do have like Kawaii sanrio themed stationery, maybe cute notebooks that you've got that you've had for years or for a while, really think about using them. Now I know each person has different items. You might not have that many sanrio merchandise, that many sanrio themed items or cute stationery, but even if you don't have like sanrio merchandise, you guys can definitely use different things. It doesn't necessarily have to be like cute stationery. If you have way too many plushies on your bed, you can also use that and put them all over your furniture. For example, I have this kind of piece of furniture that I like to use to put my clothes, but at the top I have a bunch of kawaii items. So if I didn't have cute stationery, I could probably use my kawaii plushies and put them on top, and that'll be really nice for decor. Also, for example, for me in my vanity set over here, you guys can see, so it's the back, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have some can make themed makeup and some cute makeup that I really like. I like to keep my kawaii makeup in their packaging, especially if the packaging is very kawaii. If you guys saw my video where I did a kawaii room makeover, like I kind of redecorating my room, you guys know that I have a special bag. I know some people consider it, I guess, like trash, but I just like to keep it because I like the packaging a lot. Let me know if you guys do the same thing. My really good friend Miyabi from Japan, she actually sent me some Japanese snacks. She sent them over to me to the US, so these were all just really cute Japanese snacks, and I love the packaging, so I decided to save them and keep them as a memory. And so when I make a scrapbooking little journal, I can use them and say, oh, the day that my friend sent me the kawaii Japanese snacks, or I can use them, I don't know, I just like keeping the cute wrapping. It just means a lot to me. So I like keeping, for example, if I have kawaii makeup, I like to keep the wrapping that goes with it so that it just kind of looks like a nice, like I can display it in my room. For example, you guys have probably seen my kawaii Sailor Moon themed wands and my like little chapsticks. I like to save the packaging because it's really cute. So I left them in the packaging and I kind of displayed them on my vanity set, and it looks really cute. So I didn't necessarily have to buy a Sailor Moon themed item. I kind of left the little wands in the packaging and I use that as decor. Now some people might be thinking like, oh, why don't you use the lipstick? I do use the lipstick, but at the moment, if I'm not using that chapstick or I'm not using that item and I'm doing a different type of makeup look, I like to keep it in its little, I think of them as little homes. So I realized that it could be very functional because I could use the chapstick when I'm on the go, but when I am no longer using it, I can put it back in its little home, in its own place. And because it has that kawaii packaging, it can be used as decor as well. So that's just my personal tip, or what I like to do, and I feel like it made my room very kawaii. I also have kawaii makeup, like can make brand makeup, such as like eyeshadow palettes, a blush, as well as lipstick. And also the lipsticks, I like to keep them in their packaging because the packaging is very kawaii. Japanese like makeup packages, or just in general, a lot of like Japanese snacks and makeup have really cute, like very kawaii packaging, and I like to keep the packaging because it's very cute and I can kind of display that in my room and make it look kawaii. So this is probably like an example so you guys can see what I'm talking to you guys about. Some of these items are still in their package, and it makes it look very kawaii because the package is very colorful and very kawaii and cute. So it works for my aesthetic and what I'm looking for, and it's really on a budget because I bought the item quite a while back and I can use it. And it's great because it has multiple functions. I can use the makeup as makeup, and I can also use it as decor for my room. So I'm really saving a lot of money there. So I feel like it's another really great tip. So instead of storing your makeup in bags or putting them in drawers, you can actually display them in your room, and that can serve as an inexpensive way to decorate your room and make it look kawaii if that's what you're going for. So that is another really important tip that I really wanted to talk to you guys in this video, because one tip that I did this time when I redecorated my room, and it was honestly really helpful. The third tip I want to talk to you guys about are some stores that you guys can maybe go and shop to make your room kawaii. My absolute favorite store to shop at to get some kawaii and inexpensive items is Daiso. Daiso is a kind of like the equivalent of a Dollar Tree here in the US. Practically Daiso is a Japanese dollar store, and all the items that I have are very kawaii and they're really inexpensive. So if you guys are looking for some kawaii items to decorate your room but you are also on a budget, then definitely check out Daiso. For example, they have a lot of really cute wallpapers. When I was living in Japan, my twin sister and I wanted to decorate our dorms, and we added some really cute, this really cute poster. I think this was meant for something else. I forgot what it was, but it was like a little twin stars. Kind of looked like a poster, but it wasn't a poster. It was supposed to be for some sort of kitchen thing. I forgot what it was, or I think it was for your car. Yeah, I think it's for the car so that it blocks the sun, although I may be completely wrong, but I used it as kind of like a poster on my wall, and it looked really kawaii. It was very inexpensive, so you can really see and go to Daiso and use certain items that might be used for something else and instead use them to decor your room, to like make your room more kawaii. They also have this, I believe it was like, I think it was a wallpaper, a sakura themed wallpaper, or it might have been gift wrapping, I'm not really sure, but I think it was a wallpaper, and I used it on the wall, and it was also really cheap. So you guys can really go to Daiso and find a lot of really cool items. For example, the little containers that I used that are pink, they're pastel pink color. I actually got them from Daiso. I showed them to you guys in my kawaii room makeover video, and they've been really helpful for me to kind of make my room very kawaii, and it was also really cheap because it was on a budget. It's from Daiso. So I definitely recommend you guys to check out Daiso. You guys can get a bunch of really cute items that you can use for your room and make it look kawaii. Or you guys can get, I know that Daiso sells a lot of really inexpensive stationery, so you guys, if you guys buy some stationery from Daiso, you guys can use that to decorate your room. For example, this stationery I actually purchased in at Daiso. I'll probably show you guys all the items that I have from Daiso, and these are all the items that I've purchased, and they were all really inexpensive, and I've used them in my room to decorate. So I honestly really love Daiso because you can find a lot of really inexpensive items that you can use to decorate your room, which is honestly amazing. So Daiso is definitely my go-to place for inexpensive items to decorate my room. Now I know not everyone has a Daiso, so maybe you can go to Dollar Tree. I'm not sure if they have that many kawaii items, but maybe you can find some things that you can use to, maybe for example, if you find a cute little vase or something, you can paint it pink or paint it the style that you like. I'm not very good at DIY, so I can't really give you many tips on this, but I'll be looking on Pinterest and finding some ideas, and I'll probably show them to you guys on the screen if I find an idea of like a DIY like vase or DIY things you can do from like Dollar Tree to make things more kawaii. But I'm sure there's a lot of really kawaii tips out there. These are just the tips that I have, just because I'm not really good, like I told you guys earlier, I'm not very good at DIY, so I'm not going to show you guys anything like that because I'm not really good at that. I know that you can do some kawaii crafts with items from Dollar Tree that are very inexpensive. Like I told you guys earlier, for example, using the paper, like different colored paper to put on your wall. So you guys can go to your local store, maybe like Target. I like to go to Target a lot, or any place, maybe even Dollar Tree might have cute paper that you can use, and you can put it on your walls and make it look very kawaii. So those are kind of like inexpensive places you guys can go to, or if you guys can check if there are any like stores that are similar to the dollar store, or you guys can have like a specific budget, like I'm only going to use, you know, $100 to redecorate my room, or maybe $50. Really, it's up to you and kind of your budget, and you can kind of see what you want to really focus on and see what stores work better for you. I just found that Daiso is honestly my go-to place for kawaii inexpensive items to use to decorate my room. Now I did also want to say sometimes I like going like thrift shopping. For example, I go to Goodwill, and I believe it's called the Salvation Army, and these are kind of like thrift shops. They're kind of like bigger thrift shops here in the US. They're not like super cute, but you can sometimes find some really cool goods. For example, I got this really big Relock 'em Up plushie at Goodwill, and I was so surprised, and it honestly was really cheap, so it was really surprising for me, and I actually used that for my room to redecorate it, to make it look kawaii. So you guys don't have to go to Amazon and get like really expensive items. You guys can honestly go to thrift shops and see if you guys can find some cool goods. My twin sister actually found this really cute plushie of like a little bunny at the Salvation Army, and it was honestly super cheap. It was kind of dirty, so she just cleaned it, but now it's totally fine. It still had like the little kawaii tag, so you could tell it was new. So honestly, you guys can find some really kawaii goods at your thrift stores. You just have to be looking, and you can use that. So these are some stores that I recommend you guys to check out, and you guys check some stores in your area and see what you guys can use. There's definitely a lot of really cool stores you guys can go, and you can use those items to decorate your room. So don't feel sad that you guys can have a kawaii room. You guys really can, and you can do it on a budget. Just have to be on the lookout for kawaii cheap goods at your thrift stores or inexpensive stores like Daiso and Dollar Tree. So just be on the lookout. Now the fourth tip I have for you guys is to use your own kawaii clothing as like a kawaii item that you can display in your room. For example, I have a whole wall where I have, or at least a little section in my room where I hanged my kawaii sailor uniforms. I've collected quite a bit over the years. I have a pink one that I purchased in Japan at the shop Bodyline. I have another one that I got from Amazon. This one is black and it's very similar to the other pink one, except this one's just in black. And then I have a really cute sailor uniform that I purchased from Amazon. This one has like it's kind of a brown colored sailor uniform, and it has this really nice red bow on it. My twin sister also has one, so I decided to hang both of ours, and it looks really cute. So I decided to hang that there, and it's honestly really cute. I also do have a bunch of other kawaii items like kawaii Lolita dresses and kawaii bags. So I realized that I could use items that I already own, kawaii clothing that I really love, and instead of keeping them in my closet, I decided that I could use that as decor and I could display it in my room. So you guys can really use items that you already own, such as clothing, and use that as decor, hang them in your room. I was really inspired by this particular picture. I thought the room was very kawaii, and it's definitely one of the pictures that I used for inspiration for my room. And I love the way she put her sailor uniforms. I also had these very kawaii Duffy ears that I purchased at Tokyo Disney Sea probably about like 2 years ago when I was in Japan. And I decided that instead of keeping it in my closet, I decided that I would take them out and I would hang them along with my kawaii clothing, and I use that as decor, and it's honestly really cute. I love the way it looks. I feel like it makes my room very kawaii. It adds that kind of anime core vibe to the room, and it was another tip that I felt like worked really well when I was on a budget, because these are items that I already owned, and these items also have a multiple functions. So these items work as clothing that I can use when I want to dress kawaii or I want to wear a cute seifuku, but they also work as decor for my room, and they do take up quite a bit of space, meaning that that whole little section of the wall is very kawaii and it's already decorated, so I don't have to worry about buying more items. I can use items that I already owned, and I know that a lot of people don't think about using their clothing as like decoration, but I felt like it worked well, especially the seifuku like vibe. I don't know. Personally for me, I like the way that looked, but you guys are more than welcome to experiment and see if you guys have like kawaii Lolita dresses or kawaii items that you can hang on your wall, such as cute clothing, even bags as well. If you guys see towards the wall back here, you guys can see that I have a kawaii Ida bag. I think of it like a kawaii schoolgirl bag, but I know they're known as Ida bags, and this is a pink Ida bag that I absolutely love. It's my favorite bag of all time. I don't bring it with me all the time, but it is my go-to bag when I want to dress super kawaii, and I like to hang it over here. I didn't want to leave it in the closet because sometimes it just gets squished with all my other clothing, and I thought, why don't I just use it as decor? So I ended up putting it here, hanging it on my door, and I think it looked very kawaii. So I used items that I already owned and used them as decor. So like I said, these items work as like multiple function items. This bag, I can use it to go out, I can use it for kawaii outfits, I can use it to store some of my items, and I can also use it as decor. So also like when you're buying new items, whether you're in need of a new dress, maybe a new bag, whatever it is, you can also think about like, how can it also work for me in my room? Maybe I can use it also as decor. So really think about certain items that you may own. You can honestly use them as decor, so you don't have to buy more items. You can just use the items that you already own in your home. So that's another tip that maybe you guys have never heard of, maybe you guys have, but it's something that I found really useful. I never thought about using my clothing, but this picture really inspired me, and I'm really happy with the way that kind of wall turned out. I think it looked very kawaii. It definitely went with the kawaii anime core aesthetic that I was going for. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is furniture. So if you guys want to have a kawaii room, this is very specific to kawaii aesthetic and kawaii room. So this really depends on what sort of aesthetic you're going for. But for me, since I was going for a kawaii aesthetic, if you guys are looking for cute furniture, you guys don't have to buy new furniture. You can honestly use the furniture that you already own. Just paint it a specific color. Now, I always found that if you want to make your room very kawaii, then paint your furniture white. I feel like it's a very neutral color and a very nice base that you can use. So if you add a bunch of kawaii items over your room, it's not going to look bad because you have a neutral furniture. So I feel like white works really well. So you guys don't have to buy any furniture. You can honestly use the furniture that you already own. So for example, if your furniture is like a bright color, like maybe red, or if your furniture is just a typical brown like wood color, then you guys can just paint it white. Now I know that paint can be a little bit pricey, but maybe you guys can really save money and invest more of your money on maybe painting the furniture. I feel like good furniture will really make a big difference for your room. So definitely think of painting maybe your furniture white. I didn't buy any new furniture. I just painted some of my furniture white, and that that worked really well. I have a vanity set that I've had for the longest time now, and the top part actually broke, but I actually used it for my other furniture. I put it on top, and that's where I used to decorate my other items. So instead of just throwing away that vanity set and buying something new, I just painted it white again, and I added some kawaii items on it, and the top piece I actually used it for another piece of furniture, and I was able to use that. So really think of kind of reusing certain items, don't just throw them away. And yeah, definitely think of maybe investing more money maybe on painting your old furniture to make it very nice, and you'll be saving a lot of money because I know that furniture is very expensive. So just use the old furniture that you already have, just paint it white, maybe go to a thrift store or a garage sale and see if you can get some furniture that you can just kind of like remodel, do kind of a DIY thing to it and paint it white, and you can really make your room very kawaii on a budget. Please let me know, what is your aesthetic? How do you want to make your room? What sort of aesthetic you want to go for in your room? Let me know in the comment section down below. Is it cottagecore aesthetic, anime core, kawaii core? Let me know. I'm really excited to hear you guys' thoughts, and if you guys have any tips on how to make your room kawaii on a budget, then please leave those comments in the comment section down below. Maybe you guys can help other people, and we can just keep spreading this kind of help for everyone, because I didn't say all the tips that are there. Maybe you guys have some really awesome tips that you guys can offer that'll be really helpful. So yeah, definitely leave those comments. I hope these tips are very helpful for you guys. A lot of these tips, I actually took them for my room. I took them as inspiration, and it's what I did this time because I was on a budget this time, and I feel like my room turned out very kawaii. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me at Kifadago for kawaii fashion inspiration. Like I said earlier, if you guys want to get some kawaii fashion inspiration, definitely follow me there. If you guys want to get to know me a little bit better, then definitely follow me at Kifadago. I'll be leaving a link to all my socials in the description box below, so you guys can go ahead and check them out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!